What's going on, HPP fam? Welcome back to another episode. I'm JD, and that handsome fellow over there that's hiding behind the trunk lid of that car is Gio. And we are diving into another week's worth of work. I didn't finish filming last week, but as you hopefully seen, Gio was putting a transmission into this car. This is the one that had the issue with the release lever and the guy driving it, and anyways, damaged the transmission to the extent that it did not know it was in park anymore. So we replaced the transmission, and has since solved our issue. So pretty soon we'll get the exhaust slapped back on this car, and then be able to take it out for a test drive. And then dun 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 dun, Brian's car, the famous It one. Dun, dun, dun. No, I'm just kidding. The It wrapped Scat pack is here for some more upgrades. So we're going to be doing a Holley Sniper manifold. We're going to be doing some intercooler piping action here, and a complete DW fuel system, which I'll be kind of doing a review on. I know it's been out for a little while, but this is the first time we've installed it. We've done a bunch of 4 innovation stuff, and we've done custom fuel systems, but this will be our first DW one. So I'll take you guys along on the journey on that. We'll be diving into that one this week. Hopefully we get our pro-charged F250, excuse me, on the dyno this week. And then we also had another one dropped off. This one's a little worse for wear. So excited to get this one back on the road, because it's another sad story of where he went to a bunch of other places and got screwed. But he's found a home, because we're going to get him straightened away. This thing is a built 6.4, stock heads, camshaft, and it was torn apart but not put back together. So we're going to go through, check things, and get this one all put back together. This one's pretty cool. Got a little wide body kit going on. So we will dive into getting this one going. Looks like he also has a YouTube channel. Guys, be sure to check out his YouTube and his Instagram. But that's what we got kicking around in the shop. Let's get after it. Moving and grooving right along. We've got the intake removed off of Brian's, and we've got our new Holley up on the table. Getting our injector swapped over. About to build us some fuel rails. Got the map sensor. Need to swap the throttle body. A few other small things. As you can see, we've got our motor out on this one. Reason being is I don't like all the red RTV I see on this engine. As you guys know, these Mopars all have gaskets everywhere. There's actually no requirement for RTV anywhere on these motors, except for where the oil pan that Gio has so elegantly dropped onto the ground. Where the oil pan, where the front cover meets the oil pan gasket to the engine, and then same on the rear main seal. Those are the only locations where it requires RTV, and it doesn't require red. Either use Ultra Gray or the Dodge Black. Don't ever use red RTV on anything on a modern engine. Matter of fact, you shouldn't use it on anything, period. It just looks like I don't have anything else to say about it. Like, just don't use. Look at that. I mean, it gets everywhere. So we went ahead and pulled the pan off this thing. We want to make sure everything's cleaned up. I mean, they even put it on the pickup tube. It's got an O-ring seal on it. Like, yeah. So we're gonna clean all this stuff up and do it the right way, and then put it all back together, and then we'll stick the engine back in. The Holley manifold has made its way on. I've got a few more things to adjust. To include, I like running this coolant line underneath the manifold once we lose all the covers and stuff, kind of clean things up some more. But now we are one step closer to diving into the fuel system, and then working on our charge pipe that's going right here, which I've got everything for that. So we're going to start working on that and start working on this fuel system probably first thing tomorrow. Also, as you can see, we have tore this motor all the way down to pretty much just the short block rotating assembly. And the reason for that is we just keep finding little things not right. So I do not want to take any chances with this guy's build. So I am going to take this block to my machinist, and I'm going to have it pulled apart, gone through, and made sure everything was done correctly. I'm not 100% what all has been done, but from the looks of it, this looks like an MMX drop-in piston package setup, because the crankshaft is stock. So I'm going to treat it as such. We'll leave the mains alone, but we'll go ahead and pop out the pistons and rods, make sure the rings are gapped properly, and then check our bearings, and we'll probably check clearances just for good measure, but I'm pretty sure all that's fine. I'm not questioning the parts. The parts are good name brand parts. However, whoever put it together definitely didn't know what they were doing. Moving right along, as you can see, we've got the front bumper off, and I've got my tape on here. So we'll go ahead and start cutting this middle section out, and then yeah, we'll see where that takes us. But after we get this all cut out, we'll go ahead and mark our intercooler and remove it, and basically the same process as last week. We'll weld our pipe on, we'll block everything off on this side, get it all reinstalled, and then we have our fuel system to do. So we've got the DW dual fuel pump with the regulators set up going on this thing, so that'll be exciting. First one that we've done in-house. We normally do 4 Innovations kits, so I'm excited to see how this one turns out. A little bit different style. And we've also kind of started putting the front end back together on our Nala. What you doing? And as you see, the motor is still out, and it's a good thing we tore it out. So I got a phone call last night from our machinist who tore the motor apart, and thank God we did, because whoever put it together did not gap the piston rings whatsoever. They just slapped them on the pistons, threw them in the block, which is really cringy, you know. There's some people out here that shouldn't be touching cars, and they shouldn't be touching performance cars at that. But I digress, because as you can see, woo-hoo, our ProCharged F250 is back on the rolls. We've got everything situated on it, and the kit is fully installed. So let's dive in, get this thing, get some pulls made on this thing, and see what kind of improvements on power that we made with this black P1 SC quiet geared ProCharger. This thing came out sweet. I'm glad we went with black everything. It just looks really sharp on this truck. So let's go ahead and make some pulls. I know you guys just seen that. Man, our Godzilla has made some steam. You guys seen the numbers posted at the bottom, but let me show you guys the graph. So she finished out at 461 horsepower, 506 foot-pounds of torque. And as you can see with the overlay over the stock one, I mean, substantial gains everywhere. Absolutely everywhere.
So we're doing like almost 150 horsepower gain and 129 foot-pounds of torque. So big jump. And I've already driven this thing on the street, and when I tell you, this truck for a 3/4 ton series truck freaking moves out. I mean, I floored it, and the next thing I knew, it was billowing past 80 mile an hour, and I was like, wow, for a full-size pick 'em up truck, this thing boogies. And it turned out phenomenal. Guys, post down in the comments section, what do you think of this all black Pro Charger setup on this Ford F-250 7.3 liter Godzilla? That's gonna do it for this one. Side note, we just got, oh look, there's Gio. Side note, we just got our motor back from the machine shop, and as you can see, she's looking way better than she did before we took her. And it's a good thing we tore this thing apart, because whoever did do the work on it didn't know what they were doing, and they did not gap the rings at all. Fortunately, we took everything apart and we got it all fixed up. We're currently getting everything cleaned up so we can get the motor back in the chassis, which, as you can see, we put the crash bar back in, the radiator. We're getting her dialed back in slowly but surely. And I gotta break out my knife and start judo chopping on this one. Excuse me, but it's coming soon. In the meantime, it's a Chevy Volt back there. I'm gonna go ahead and pop a window regulator in that one real quick. And Gio and I are gonna get back to work. Ooh, and look at that. Gio's got our motor back in. Nice. I hope you guys enjoyed the little burnout action there on Wayne's truck. That was fun. Glad he let me do that. Truck turned out great. So he has since taken the truck home and has dropped off his next project. Super exciting. Is boom, this Ford Focus RS. Love that. I don't know what color that is. It's like a bluish destroyer gray. Put it down in the comment section if you guys can tell me what color this is. But fun little hoodoo right there. We're gonna be doing a bunch of stuff to it, and of course I'll take you guys along on the journey. But in the meantime, I don't know if you remember a week or so ago, we did an AFE Momentum GT intake on this 2016 Ford F-150, and dang, it's blowed out. Hold up. Okay, I guess that's just the way it looks outside right now. But anyway, it is back because we have a MBRP exhaust system going on it. So I'll go ahead and fire this thing up, give it a few revs, and then we'll put the system on and give it a few more revs. See what you guys think. So guys, I noticed that the battery died on the camera, but I kept on working. And let me show you where we end up. Boom! She's back on there. As you can see, got her welded up nicely. And then got our, let's see if I can lighten it up a little bit more for you there. Got our intake air temp and our meth nozzle installed in the bottom of the pipe as well. You know we got them vibrant goodies on this one. So we are that much closer to wrapping this thing up. So I still have to modify the hood for it to clear. But as for the lower stuff, like I'm gonna make an adjustment to this charge pipe down here. I don't like it. But then we'll be able to put our front bumper back on, clearance the hood, and we're gonna have to do some swapping around on some cars. We're gonna have to move this one, put this one on the rack, do the fuel system, then this one will be done, and then we got some stuff we got to order for this one, so it's gonna get paused. Then this one is going to be taking the fab area up because we're doing intercooler pipes for this D1 SC Pro Charger setup on this 5.3 build motor 5.3 square box Chevy. So, and we also got our RS, which I think we're gonna go ahead and get our baseline dyno knocked out on this one today. So hopefully here shortly you'll see us strapping this one down and see what we make stock. Alright guys, so you just seen our Ford Focus RS dyno. So our baseline numbers, what we're starting out with before we start modding this thing, is 270 horsepower, 344 foot-pounds of torque. So clean looking graph. So pretty clean looking car. I'm not sure what this thing's going to make when it's done, but it's basically going to be full bolt-on, just not E85. Or we might go E85. Actually, yeah, we're gonna go dual tune on this, so it'll be pump gas and E85. So next week you'll see this thing hit the lift. In the meantime, we're about to start moving some cars around before we close out the day. This one needs to move. This one's gonna take its spot. As you can see, Brian's is almost 100% wrapped up. Ooh, that pipe looks clean. So that's gonna do it for this week's episode, guys. Hope you enjoyed the content. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you on the next episode. Peace.